Liberace, the dazzling pianist who became a Las Vegas legend, started his journey as something quite unexpected. Born as Leonard Leopold Ludwig Jr., this man would later abandon his first name and embrace a personality as flashy as his stage outfits. In the 1950s, Liberace transformed from a classical pianist into a showman like no other. He wore gaudy dinner jackets, had a candelabra perched on his piano, and performed with an over-the-top style that made even the most complex pieces look like pop concerts. His style was bold, his humor self-deprecating, and his love for music infectious. He said he wanted to please everyone, especially those who didn't often appreciate classical music. In the early 1950s, Liberace became an overnight sensation. His albums sold like hotcakes, and his concerts were always sold out. With his dimpled smile and silky voice, he became a heartthrob for millions of middle-aged women. To them, he was more than just a musician, he was a comforting presence, like a charming friend over tea. By 1955, Liberace was ready to dazzle Las Vegas. His Riviera show was a spectacle. He wore a white silk lame tuxedo, then changed into an extravagant sequin jacket, just as he had seen in an old movie. His show was an hour and 40 minutes of music, dance, and dazzle. The audience loved it, laughing and smiling at his antics. He said, "Go ahead and laugh, you paid for it," acknowledging the show was as much about him making fun of himself as it was about the music. As Las Vegas grew, so did Liberace's shows. His outfits became more outrageous, and his stage tricks more elaborate. But he always kept a wink for the audience, sharing the joke. Critics might have scoffed at his style, but they couldn't deny the joy he brought. Liberace understood that entertainment was about making people happy, and he did that better than anyone. In 1956, Liberace crossed paths with a young Elvis Presley, who was also making waves in Las Vegas. Backstage at the Riviera, Elvis's manager asked Liberace to help his admirer. Liberace not only posed for photos, but also gave Elvis advice on how to add more glitz to his act. This meeting marked the start of a unique friendship between two self-made entertainers. Elvis was deeply influenced by Liberace's showmanship. After seeing Liberace's new show, Elvis adopted a gold lame suit for his own performances. This connection went beyond fashion. It was about the spirit of entertainment they both embodied. They exchanged gifts, invited each other to dinner, and even shared a surprising personal connection. Both had twin brothers who died at birth. This strange coincidence added to the mystique surrounding these two originals of American entertainment. Elvis loved Las Vegas. The city's non-stop energy and nightlife were a far cry from his hometown of Memphis. He visited multiple times, enjoying the shows, the freedom, and the nightlife. Once, a photo of him with stripper Tempest Storm caused a scandal, but Elvis simply joked about it, saying he only spent the night with her, no date, just a night in Vegas. These two figures, Liberace and Elvis, transformed Las Vegas into a city of dreams and excess. Their stories are intertwined in the history of entertainment, each leaving an indelible mark on how we think about show business and performance. In the late 1950s, Las Vegas was going through a tough time. The city that was once buzzing with new hotel openings and excitement was facing some problems. In March 1958, a big change came when Elvis Presley was drafted into the U.S. Army. This was a huge blow to the city's nightlife, and his fans were heartbroken. Las Vegas was also dealing with financial issues, as some of its hotels struggled to stay afloat. The city's growth that had happened so fast was now slowing down. Despite these challenges, Las Vegas held on to its allure. People still saw it as a magical place straight out of a movie. In 1960, Variety magazine's Abel Green wrote that Las Vegas was like a never-ending movie set, full of entertainment with no equal anywhere else. He noted that while other places like the Riviera or spas might have busy times and quiet times, Las Vegas was always lively. Around this time, a man named Jack Entratter became a key figure in Las Vegas. He ran the Sands Hotel, a place known for its glamour and stars. Entratter was a towering presence, both physically and in the world of entertainment. He was a former street kid from Brooklyn who had worked his way up to running some of the biggest nightclubs in New York. When he took over the Sands in 1952, he brought with him a network of famous names from the entertainment world. Entratter was known for his ability to get things done. One day, as he was driving to work, he complained about the lack of a traffic light at a busy intersection. His girlfriend, an actress named Corinne Cole, joked that he could just ask City Hall for one. To everyone's surprise, the next time they drove by, a traffic light was there. This story shows how influential Entratter was. Born Nathan Entratter in Brooklyn, he was one of 8 children to Austrian Jewish parents. A bout of osteomyelitis as a child left him with a bad foot, but he refused to let it stop him. By 18, he was working in Miami and soon moved to New York to host and eventually co-own the famous Stork Club. His rise continued when he was chosen to run the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas in 1952. At the Sands, Entratter assembled an unmatched lineup of stars. He brought in big names like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, who were huge together and separately. He also signed Frank Sinatra, Danny Thomas, Nat King Cole, and Lena Horne. The hotel was known for its stunning Copa Girls, a chorus line that Entratter personally selected. He brought in big-name acts like Edith Piaf and opera star Robert Merrill alongside jazz legend Louis Armstrong. The Sands itself was a work of art. It had a modern design with a tall, eye-catching sign, the biggest on the Strip. The hotel's grounds were spacious, and guests could ride golf carts to their rooms. The Copa Room was the heart of entertainment, a cozy space where guests could enjoy performances just off the casino floor. Entratter had his own table there, always sitting at the back so he could keep an eye on everything. As a host, Entratter was warm and generous. He treated his stars like family and earned their loyalty. When Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin faced a huge tax bill, Entratter stepped in and paid half of it, $400,000, so they could keep performing. He was tough in business but a great friend. He was known for his generosity, always having cash on hand to help employees in need. Entratter was deeply involved in the community. He helped establish the first synagogue in Las Vegas and raised money for local schools and hospitals. His main goal, though, was to make the Sands the top entertainment spot in Las Vegas. To achieve this, he organized creative publicity stunts. One memorable event was putting a floating craps table in the hotel's pool. Each anniversary of the Sands was celebrated in grand style, with the return of beloved performers and fun facts about the hotel's milestones. Through it all, Entratter's presence was the heart of the Sands. He turned a hotel into a landmark, making Las Vegas a place that captivated the nation's imagination. His story is a testament to the power of ambition and the magic of Las Vegas during its golden years. Frank Sinatra's journey to becoming a legend in Las Vegas was marked by a series of pivotal moments. His career, which had hit a rough patch in the late 1940s, found new life thanks to the vibrant and glamorous world of Las Vegas. This transformation began with his first steps in the city in 1951 at the Desert Inn, where he not only found a new platform but also discovered talent in a pianist named Bill Miller, who would become his longtime musical partner. Las Vegas was a city on the rise, especially with the opening of the Sands Casino in 1952. Jack Entratter, the visionary behind the Sands, saw Sinatra as a key to unlocking the city's potential. Entratter had already given Sinatra a lifeline when other opportunities were scarce. When the Sands opened, Sinatra was chosen to be its opening night headliner, despite initially wanting to wait until after the holidays. His debut in October 1953 was a huge success. Though critics were divided, with some praising his quality and others criticizing his style, the crowds were undeniably captivated. This success was soon followed by a major turning point in Sinatra's career. Just a couple of months after his Sands debut, Sinatra starred in the film From Here to Eternity. This role earned him an Academy Award, reviving his movie career. Around the same time, he signed with Capitol Records and began working with arranger Nelson Riddle. Their collaboration on Songs for Young Lovers in 1954 marked a new era for Sinatra. His voice became fuller and more expressive, capturing a range of emotions that resonated deeply with listeners. This new sound was a departure from the gentle balladeer of the 1940s, showcasing a more mature and sophisticated artist. Sinatra's connection to Las Vegas deepened as he became more than just a performer there. He became a pillar of the city's image. He invested in the Sands, buying a stake in the hotel, and often stayed at a suite there. He was a strong advocate for Las Vegas, believing in its potential for greatness. He helped open the Dunes Hotel in 1955, arriving on a camel, an event that captured the city's growing allure. His role in the 1957 film The Joker is Wild, based on the life of Vegas comic Joe E. Louis, further solidified his ties to the city. Even when Louis himself appeared at the El Rancho Vegas, Sinatra's star power was so strong he declined to sing, sticking to his agreement with Entratter to perform only at the Sands. Sinatra's influence extended beyond his performances. He brought a sense of New York glamour and sophistication to Las Vegas, a town that was still finding its footing. For young girls like Lorraine Hunt Bono, seeing Sinatra for the first time was a defining moment. His style, particularly his black tuxedo and patent leather shoes, was a stark contrast to the cowboy image common in Vegas at the time. It was a sign of class and elegance that inspired many. For other singers, Sinatra was more than just a performer, he was a role model. Vic Damone, another Italian-American singer, admired Sinatra's approach to singing. Damone, who also made his debut in Vegas before Sinatra, recalled how Sinatra's interpretation of lyrics made him feel like he was telling a story. Even younger rock and roll stars of the early 1960s like Paul Anka and Bobby Darin looked up to Sinatra. He set a high standard, making it clear that simply playing in front of an orchestra was no longer good enough.